Time to get back to natural. Peace, Star Family. I hope you are well. As promised, details and downloads for this coming up. Lunar eclipse, blood moon, full moon in Taurus. It's intense. And what you hear in the background is a live that is happening, playing on YouTube, that is aligning with the frequencies of this lunar eclipse. It is a hang drum sound bath that is playing right now. So I hope you're feeling the vibes. I am listening to it with 335 other people at this time, and I love listening to live brainwave frequencies because we're all tapping into the collective consciousness. So whenever you're hearing this, it is divine timing and you are spiritually right there with us. So I did want to send this recording, so have it on YouTube so that you all can tap into this as above, so below energy, very, very rare, intense energy. And I'm aiming to make this shorter than the last one, the November celestial events that is posted, and is a lot of backstory in many ways for some of what I'm going to be sharing. So some things will be repetitive, but I do definitely recommend that you take a listen to that after you listen to this. And again, I'm going to try to see as much as I can condense. There's so much to this energy and so much, again, surrounding this energy that I will not be able to share everything that has been downloaded, everything that I have been researching and just confirming based on what has come through. It's a lot. And I just want to try to get some of the general information to you all, at least for you to start here, so that you can then go out and just scour the internet and the YouTubes and wherever you're led to is what you're meant to know. But I wanted to, as I always do, aggregate as much as possible and share what's come through specifically for me, for our collective, for our tribe, our star family. In regards to this energy, this blood moon, total lunar eclipse, it is in Taurus. I am a Taurus sun, so I am absolutely feeling this. And I've been waiting for this energy because we did have this twin blood moon lunar eclipse in May 15th, which was the week of my birthday and in my polarity sign in Scorpio. So I was already feeling that energy then because, again, as it being the polarity sign, it is very transformative, and being in Scorpio, it is the sign that is in line with, transformation and death and rebirth. And now we've got this, 6 months later energy, polarity, in Taurus, ruled by Venus. And this is about our values and our materials and grounding and relationships. And it's about matter, the earth element. And when we think about matter, we have to think about what matters to us, what makes us feel at home and feels grounded. And, Taurus is really about luxuries and feeling really comfortable in their space and having a sense of sanctuary and safety. So it's a very, very powerful time, and to have this kind of support to think about what things we need to release right now so that we can bring in that sense of security and stability and safety and, just feeling like we're safe in our sanctuary. So what's also very powerful about these particular blood moons, both being in the same year, 2022, which brings in the energy of the pairing of the number 2, and also thinking about the fact that both of them are 84 minutes totality. So our blood moon in May, that was in Scorpio, was 84 minutes totality. And now we've got this one, polar sign, and in Taurus, also 84 minutes totality. Very, very powerful. We have this peaking at starting around 5:16 a.m. and it's going to end at 6:41 a.m. So that tap in, that tie in regards to that 84 minutes, you've got all of that time to really be able to observe this energy and the look of it. So if you're able to be up during that time and to be under the moon, then you'll be able to see that copper reddish hue, which is why they refer to it as a blood moon. It is a beaver moon, and when we think about the Native Americans and how they named the particular moons, it was based on lifestyle. It was based on livelihood, and they referred to it as the beaver moon because it's when the beaver pelts were harvested so that they can prepare to keep warm for the upcoming winter. So that is symbolic for us, and although we're not going to be harvesting beaver pelts. We are thinking about ways for us to prepare to be warm, to be extra warm for winter, to have what we need, to have generators in case, have extra food and, non-perishables, and just securing our shelter, knowing where each other is, how we can help each other out, and, whatever it may be, just in case of anything, especially given the colder months, the winter months that are on the way. Taurus constellation, which is where we are experiencing this lunar eclipse. We're thinking about Pleiades, that is the seven sisters that are in the constellation of Taurus as well. The Taurids meteor shower that we just had on the 4th and the 5th. Also in the Taurus constellation, Orion the Hunter is right next to the Taurus constellation and is in the middle of November going to be coming above the horizon line. So that Hunter energy is returning right before we're preparing for our Sagittarius new moon, which is a Hunter energy, which is that bow and arrow, ready, aim, fire, which I will talk about a little bit more in a little while, because that's what this moon, this total lunar eclipse in Taurus, is preparing us for. This is release to increase energy. We've got Uranus that is conjunct with the moon, because Uranus is also right now in the constellation of Taurus, and that is our great awakener, and we are being awakened to our true values. In alignment with Taurus, which is known as the bull-headed, stubborn, it is a time to be stubborn and bullheaded about our principles and about our convictions, and being fixed, as Taurus is a fixed sign, being fixed in our faith and in what we're manifesting. Being prepared for shocking truths to be revealed internally and externally, so that we're prepared to hold the line and not shrink back. We're sure after we release through this energy what it is that we're going to be preparing to plant come the new moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd. Crystals for this energy: rose quartz, emerald, and clear quartz. And for our herbs, you want to work with sage, because sage is about releasing negative energy, what doesn't serve. So whether it's regular white sage, there's golden sage, and blood sage, dragon's blood sage, which would be extra powerful for this time because we're dealing with a blood moon and then dealing with the sage to release. We're thinking about, again, this twin moon that was May 15th, 16th in Scorpio, and that was about transformation. It was about death and rebirth. Again, like I mentioned, also 84 minutes totality. So when we think about that time, what were the lessons that we learned and the things that were illuminated during that full moon? Now we're going to look at it and see how they continue, what comes back up that we may not have really stuck to during that time, things that we expected to release but are still kind of rearing their ugly head. We have the time now, the opportunity, I should say, to continue, to conclude, to get more clarity. It really is a full circle energy, which again is definitive and very descriptive in regards to death and rebirth, which was what that moon was about in Scorpio. Scorpio right now, we've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and the South Node all in Scorpio right now, which is again adding to the transformation on a personal and on a global scale regarding truth, overall truth, regarding ego and putting the ego in its place, thinking about heart-centered leadership. It's about communication, thinking about our love and our relationships. And on a global scale, particularly, how history has been told and sold. And then also for ourselves, how we tell our own stories, the narratives that we tell, the drums that we keep beating on, especially in terms of low vibrational things, and expecting there to be some type of change. So we really want to retell the story and think about and rethink about his story and her story and what it is that we want to experience going forward. So as a result, what we need to release, which is what full moons are all about, releasing what no longer serves. It's going to be a very intensely emotional time, swift changes. You're going to probably cry. It's purging. Let the tears come. They are cathartic. Let the tides rise up like the oceans, and just prepare to use those waters to water your seeds. The 3 words that I downloaded to align with this particular moon is values, vision, and victory. And when we think about this Taurus energy, which is all about values and thinking about what matters, we have to think about our vision, thinking about, again, what we're releasing so that we can increase, so that things can come in that are meant for us. So we're thinking forward in terms of what we want to bring in before we align with what needs to be released, because we're aware now of what has actually been taking up the space of those visions that we want to now bring into fruition. And then aligning with the notion of victory. and understanding that nothing less will do. This is the tapping in of believing, receiving that victory, receiving because we understand the value of things in a different sense, and understanding that our vision is very fixed, much like this Taurus energy, so that we can bring a victorious sense of state of being. This year, February 2nd, 2022, very powerful energy with 2/2/2022. We had the Pluto return, and I have a video up on that if you kind of scroll somewhere down to the bottom, February time. Very, very detailed in regards to what that means and why there's so much swift change, why there's so much that's happening, and how this energy is really culminating. And full moons are about culmination energy. So all of that is why things are going to be that much more intense. And with the Pluto return, also ruling Scorpio, aligning with Scorpio's connection with Pluto, we're also thinking about tower moments and things that need to be broken down when they're not sustainable so that we can rebuild better. This is bringing in Oya energy, the Orisha of the winds of change, of the storms, and the darkest before the dawn in many ways, and in how important it is to focus on the dawn despite the energy of dark, and understanding that a lot of change, more than not, happens in the dark. So do not be afraid of the dark. Align with that change and transformation that comes along with it. And this is what is bringing in our new earth energy. It's what it's all about. It's absolutely what we want. With the 2 energy, we also had these 2 total lunar eclipses in 2022. And what's so powerful about that is that we had 2 in 2022 back to back in many ways in regards to this polarity, with Scorpio and Taurus being polarity signs in the same year, both 84 minutes totality. And that is extremely energetic for us, for this culmination energy, for it also being totality, being that blood moon energy, especially given the fact that we are not going to have another total lunar eclipse until March 14th, 2025. So I really wanted to do this video to let you all know how to work with this energy, because it is very rare and we do kind of have to wait like 3 years in a way, you know what I mean, to get this, literally for us to get this 2 years, in a bit, to get this energy coming back for us to support our releasing so that we can bring in what we want to increase in our lives. Whenever you hear this video, I'm recording it on the 7th so that, you'll have time to listen to it before the peak. Like I said, around 6 o'clock or so this morning, or coming morning on the 8th. The number 8, aligning with our energy of abundance, a vibration of abundance, infinite energy, infinity sign. So very powerful in regards to that. And also just thinking forward so that whatever time you listen to this, if you still get the information within the week, you can still work with this energy. Across the board, eclipse energy is very lasting energy. This is going to take us to the end of the year for sure, especially with Mars retrograde going until January 1st. So all of the alignments here, no matter what, is powerful, especially with it being in Taurus, being a fixed sign, being earthly and grounded. And as I mentioned, with Uranus being in Taurus, that conjunction that's happening right now with the energy as well with the Pleiades, which is always in the Taurus constellation. So those are very fixed energies, much like Taurus being a fixed sign. So we can really, really bank on aligning with Taurus energy, aligning with the energy of the earth, Mother Earth, bringing in the new earth, ground your feet any chance that you get, where you can be outside, take your shoes off, take your socks off, and just get your feet in the soil. This is an energy of aligning with the soil and connecting with the soil as we connect with our soul. So that energy of soil and soul being one and the same, because we're planting seeds in the soil, but we're planting seeds in our soul. So it's very, very powerful when we make that symbolic connection, especially with this very earthly alignment with Taurus. So what it is that we want to call in, naturally, we want to think about the releasing before. We cannot call anything in if we don't make space for it first. And again, this energy is really, really supporting us in regards to what it is that we release and allowing it to stick, like really, really standing firm. Again, being kind of Taurus vibes, super stubborn, you know what I mean? With our convictions, with our passions, with what it is that we're saying, these are my lines, these are my new boundaries, this is what I'm releasing because I am so firm in my faith for what it is that I'm calling in. You can do your bay leaf burning at this time, so that you can release what no longer serves. But I always suggest to not necessarily put on your bay leaf anything specific that you don't want to claim over your life, whether it's low vibrational emotions and energies like fear and doubt and insecurity and scarcity mindset, whatever it is. Don't claim anything specific, and just use a general, I guess, incantation in a sense, or command. So what I do on my bay leaves, which I will share with you all, which I've shared with the queens, and when I do lives and such, on my full moon bay leaf burn, I always just write, and it depends on the size of your bay leaf. I get the small, skinny Sharpies and the largest size bay leaf as I can to mark this out. It's 5:55 right now on November 7th as I'm recording this, so powerful energy of change, beautiful. Big change coming, y'all. Big change, totally confirmed. That's Oshun energy as well, ruling the number 5. It's all coming. It's all here. So on your bay leaf, you can make space and try your best to get on there. I release all low vibrational and negative energies, entities, emotions, expressions, experiences, and environments. I release all low vibrational and negative energies, entities, emotions, expressions, experiences, and environments. So you just write that out on your bay leaf. I usually have, images in the back of these audios, and I put the captioning for these incantations and things like that. Depending on time, I may not do all of those stuff. So that's why I repeated it a second time, so you can, listen back if you have to. But if I do have time, I will type that in, and you would have seen it, or still see it, up on your screen right now. Script that on your bay leaf and then burn it. And then you take it out and discard it under the moon, if you can. Doesn't have to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Just try to get out to take a look at that moon, even if you're not able to see the actual totality blood moon energy. And then you can also do some script burning. And with that, you're just basically writing out things that no longer serve, letters to yourself, letters to others, and you're also going to burn. But what I want you to do, if you decide to do the script burning of what it is that you want to release, I want you to visualize and think about what it is that you want to call in. Because when we look at that list of what we want, we're going to be able to connect more to what it is that we know we need to remove in order for that to be able to come through. What is basically taking up its space? If we say we want love, but we're in a relationship right now that we don't feel love, then we have to think about removing that energy from our space in order for us to be able to call in. Spirit has so many bags, so many gifts, so much blessing for us, but oftentimes it's an energy of, I got this for you, but I have nowhere to put it because something is taking up its space. So as soon as you release it, I will be able to increase your energy and augment what is meant for you. But that's, again, the signal that you put up to the universe to let the universe know that you are ready for the change, you are ready for the increase, you are ready for the growth, because you are making the choice to release before you even receive it. That's where the faith comes in. That's when you're literally letting spirit know, I am so sure that this is coming through for me, that I'm letting this go, and I know that I have to let it go in order for this thing to come through for me. So think about what you want in all areas of life, and then think of the opposite. Think about what's already in your space right now, or even in terms of your own self-limiting visions and ideas and self-limiting beliefs and, imposed restrictions and imposter syndrome and self-sabotage, whatever it is, not believing in miracles, like all of those, again, the narratives and the chatter that we know is going to hold us back from actually getting what it is that we want, because it is redundant to say that we want all these things and then realize that we are actually the blockages. We need to be able to acknowledge what is standing in our own way. And more often than not, it is ourselves. It is us relinquishing our power. It is, again, low vibrational emotions that, to be honest, aren't even real. You know what I mean? Like those illusions, they're conditioning and they're fear mongering and they're all of these things. And the only true thing is love. And the fact that we are made of the same stuff that stars are made of, the fact that we are co-creators of this existence and of our destiny, and that God gave us free will for a reason. And it's because we are God, because we are literally that same alignment. And as soon as we remember that, we'll be able to realize, like, God can just snap finger and everything is done. And that's a download that I actually got in my bath. And, I also say don't take any baths between now and I would say the 10th. So when you're listening to this, no baths for right now. Wait till about the 10th. Let this energy clear because it's very, very intense. And you don't want to be getting any ascension symptoms or dizziness or anything like that when you're in a bath, potentially slippery and all of that stuff. So definitely hold off on any baths for right now. But while I was in my bath to make sure that I did my bath before this energy got too intense, especially for me being a Taurus, I received the guidance in my manifesting and thinking about all of the things I want to bring in and as a result, what I need to release during this time. I received this message so clearly that Spirit, God, the Creator, said, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. And when I heard that, and then the download that followed and that came through was all God needed to do was say, let there be light. And there was light. It's that easy. We make it complicated. We actually create this resistance in the things that we even speak and claim. We say, I am this, all of our I am affirmations, but then there's always that voice that doesn't really believe it. And as soon as we allow that voice to come through, regardless of the fact that we literally do have the power to just command something, we've just automatically eliminated its potential and it literally manifesting that quickly, just like God said, let there be light, and there was light. So think about what it is that you say, let there be this, and just believe to receive that it is, that it's already yours, it's already here. So tap in, and again, after you really think about what it is that you want, then you go into your releasing energies with your bay leaf burning, with the scripting, whatever it is that you want to, that you now realize, okay, I got to get rid of this because there's no way all of these things that I say that I want to have and to be, right? Because it's also a personal alignment. We have to come into alignment on a soul and a heart level to manifest the things, the materials, the luxuries, the love, all of these external things, right? It has to start with what we feel about ourselves and remove, again, any of those self-limiting beliefs so that you can really align with what's seemingly impossible. And then realizing, you know what, waking up and breathing every day is a miracle. So why would I think that anything else is not just as possible? The miracles are what they are. And it's not just Yeshua that can manifest these miracles because we are of that same alignment. In regards to that, part of what holds us back from really believing is that we get too focused on the how something's going to happen. That's God's job. That is Spirit's job. That's why we are co-creating this experience. We just have to worry about the what, and God figures out the how. So just do your part and focus in on the what, believing to receive, and all of it is going to come through as long as you have that faith. Don't worry about the how. It's a good time to do cord cutting. There's various ways to do that. I have a very unique program in regards to cord cutting. It's really more about reclamation, more so than about cord cutting. So if anybody is interested in regards to that, in terms of energetic ties, tethers, soul contracts, sometimes that we have very subconscious that are creating blockages that we actually are not really aware of. So we assume that we don't really need to cut cords. But if there are certain things that we feel like we've been trying to manifest, and yet even though we believe it, even though we've released, even though we've done all this work, it's still not coming through, that may be a cord cutting situation. That may be a reclamation that is needed in regards to your energetic sovereignty and your soul sovereignty. So again, check it for yourself in terms of whatever resonates. But if anybody is listening and wants details in regards to my specific program, support, suggestions, definitely hit me up, and I would be honored to support you on that, as I have for myself and for a few others thus far, and it's been incredibly transformative. Absolutely. Good time to declutter and clean up your space, redefine roles of the people in your life, or conclude dynamics. Quite literally, the decluttering, the cleaning up, that's not just a physical in terms of your space. It's in regards to yourself, your diet, right? Detoxing, things that you're eating. Understand, if you want to call in optimal health as one of the things that is ideal for you, but you're still smoking or eating this or doing that. You know what I'm saying? They don't add up. So you have to be honest with yourself in regards to what it is that you're asking to come in for yourself, and realize that the effort is twofold, and that you do also have to put that transmission up to spirit to show that you are ready for optimal health, because you are doing the tangibles on the 3D level to do your best to take care of yourself in the best possible way. So decluttering, cleaning up, that's again across the board. It's a holistic approach. It's internal, it's external, it's personal, it's global. It's all of that. And again, we're aligning with Taurus energy and about the home and about the hearth. And it's really about, making sure that your space is as, organized in that sense. Like my Organite collection, I refer to it as Get Organized, because it's about getting organized in terms of your space and things in order, always knowing where everything is. It has a natural flow in your space. And then the Organite itself is also an energy that cleans up within, you know what I mean? And completely detoxifies any unwanted energies from your space. So do that. It's an energy to pluck weeds, to prepare to plant seeds that are coming again for this new moon, November 23rd, which is in Sagittarius. That is ready, aim, fire energy. This is the fire sign. This is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is going direct. So Jupiter is in retrograde right now and goes direct on November 23rd, which is the day of this new moon in Sagittarius. Powerful, abundant, luck, expansion, focus, targeting energy for that to be happening on that same day. This is an alignment of thinking about the bullseye, right? You have Sagittarius coming with this new moon with the target and focusing. The bow and arrow is their alignment with the bullseye. And we're coming from this Taurus full moon, which is the bull. That is about getting grounded and being stubborn and being sure and charging full speed ahead in regards to the release for then the increase to come in with Jupiter's Sagittarius new moon coming through with Jupiter going direct. Incredible energy. So tap into that bow and arrow energy with Sagittarius to really hit your target come November 23rd. And it's going to be so much easier for us to know what it is that our target is once we've actually cleared space out. And the more you clear, the more you have room for new shit. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? It's time for new shit, because I'm telling you, this is happening as above, so below. And it is an energy that I've been saying for a few months now. It is shift or be shifted. It is happening whether you know or not, whether you like it or not, whether you're aligning or not. But obviously, the more you align, the easier it's going to be for you. That is the energy of choosing to shift versus to be shifted. That is going to be so much more uncomfortable to be shifted versus to tap in and shift with the energy. Ebbs and flows like the tides, right? This is happening on election day. Tomorrow is election day. So we do have to watch everything that's coming in regards to major change, things coming out of the government. And when we talk about conspiracy theories versus conspiracy truths, a lot of these things are already coming out. The politricks, the circumstances, as I call it, we got to really be prepared to take a stance and not be afraid. This is Frontlines frequency, which equals faith over fear. And these days, I've just literally been saying just faith. I'm not even saying over fear, because I'm not claiming fear. Fear ain't even real. I'm straight up like, it's just faith. And it is about blind faith in many ways, because that is what faith is all about. Something that you can't see, but you believe in it wholeheartedly. That is the energy to align in. And on a collective conscious level. So we lead by example so that we can inspire others, even just energetically or within our tribe, so that they're aware of what needs to be happening right now for this new earth, for this age of Aquarius, for the shift of power. You know what I mean? For us to literally just take our power back. And remember that the alignment with the new earth isn't something that's new per se, because there is nothing new under the sun. It's just that we are now becoming more aware. And that's what Uranus energy is doing, especially again being in Taurus, is giving us a new sense of awakening our values, awakening the energy of what's fair, what's true, what's real, in regards to karma, in regards to justice. And things are going to shift in regards to that, because of all of us coming more on a collective consciousness energy of doing right, doing good, whatever that means for us, because yes, it is subjective, but good is good. right? Good is good. So you can't really go wrong when you have your definition of good in regards to how you're treating yourself and how you're treating others. Think about your removal commands, and again, really standing in your conviction when you are speaking these things. Like God said to me straight up last night, when God said, let there be light, there was light. That's all. That's period. That's the end of that's the end of it. God said, let there be light, and there was light. That there's nothing else to talk about. It's that simple. We make it complicated. We actually separate ourselves from the perfection of creation and of God and make it so that it's not that easy. And that's why it's not that easy. As soon as we really claim it in that way, that's what, again, the alignment with light years and why there is such a gap between our manifestations and what's manifested is because of the resistance. It's because we don't really believe. It's because we need to touch and taste and smell and feel for us to actually believe something. We have to now start to switch that up and get into the alignment of, I am so sure. Again, I have this blind faith. It's already here. And that collapses the time. And then we get to shift and jump timelines that much quicker to get into the alignment and the reality in the 3D that we want to actually come down and bring forth for ourselves and each other and the world, right? It's a time to journal, meditate, do your yoga, sit in silence, think about aligning with what it is that needs to be released. And it's taking time within, doing your self-study, astrology and, looking into your numerology and human design and Myers-Briggs and all of those personality tests, your galactic signature, all of that stuff, as I mentioned in the November details and downloads that's posted right before this one. Sun gaze, take naps, especially through this energy. Please take naps, rest, drink a lot of water through this. It's very, very intense, and it's a time to charge and recharge. It's a time to tribe up, to really get into alignment with who is on the same frequency and know who's not. And it doesn't mean you're just cutting ties and cutting cords with everybody unless it's toxic and the ones that you do need to. It's just about redefining and reevaluating the role. How much of a priority you allow somebody to be in your life, and make the space, because then again, that's what's going to open you up to the tribe, the right people that are for you. And especially if you're looking for love, you got to start with self-love. You have to understand the difference between self-love and self-value, and that self-love is about how you treat yourself, and self-value is about how you teach others how to treat you. And when you take this time, especially in a releasing energy, it's going to be a lot clearer for you. There's going to be a lot that's illuminated in regards to how you need to restructure exactly that. It's a time to let people go, and that's twofold. Let people go in terms of you deciding that you're letting someone go, but also on the flip side, when someone decides to go and leave you, let them. Just let people go. Let people be who they are. Be who you are. Focus on you coming into alignment. Don't take things personally, especially during this Mars retrograde. It's so not worth it to react versus respond. Choose calm over confrontation. Pick your battles right now. Just wusa and protect your peace. Stay calm through the breakthroughs and do not think of them as breakdowns, even when you feel like shit's falling apart. It needs to fall apart. This is releasing energy. If you know you want something new, if you know that you want something different, you have to do different in order to get that. Something has to break down. Something has to be destroyed for there to be something coming through. Again, this is aligning with a lot of the Scorpio energy of death and rebirth. And it's about, in many ways, letting things die, but also killing what isn't serving so that this new life, this new abundant energy can come through for you. And in terms of navigating relationships and the ones that you wish to preserve, be very mindful and soulful in regards to how you communicate, especially with this Mars retrograde being in Gemini, which is about communication. It's about technology and how it's going to affect social media and all of the stuff that we're seeing, how certain people are being attacked because of their freedom of speech or lack of freedom, apparently, right? All of these things is what is something to pay attention to. And on your personal levels in regards to relationships, think about apologies, think about forgiveness, who you need to apologize to, when you receive an apology. That's really tribe, because especially during this Mars retrograde, a lot of people are really more stuck in their ego, really getting triggered easily, being in their frustration, digging their heels in, but not always necessarily in a positive way. So the ones that can kind of choose to just be cool and say, yo, my bad, like that's somebody that's really looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? So be that person as well to the people that you feel that you need to. And always accept an apology. Whether you believe it's genuine or not doesn't mean that you need to let this person back into your space, but it clears your energy. And forgiveness is so powerful. And as we know, cliche or not, it is for yourself. It's not for the other person. In my alignment with our Ascended Master Hilarion, as I've shared many times before, during this energy, say that incantation: may my soul be forgiven for all that it has done, and I forgive all that has been done to my soul. May my soul be forgiven for all that it has done, and I forgive all that has been done to my soul. So powerful to completely clear the Akashic records, clear your soul. At the end of the day, we have so many lives, past, present, future, that we don't know what we've done. We don't know how we've impacted, even in this life. Sometimes we don't realize the impact that we have on somebody's life based on a choice that we made that's still hindering them. So we have to kind of take that accountability on a very soul level, quite literally, and then also in turn release anything that has been done to us and just let it go. That's part of the let go. Be free. Choose freedom. That's you taking your power back. That is empowering for your soul. And it's going to lead your soul to be able to do what it is on this planet at this time to do. Believe in miracles. Dream bigger. Come this new moon, like plant some really, really heavy duty seeds, and also understand in patience and understanding that as we plant, most of the growth happens underground. That's the blind faith right there again, right? The roots happen first. You can't see that growth. So there's so much happening behind the scenes. That's what we have to align with and not be impatient waiting for the green to pop out of the soil, right? The growth is happening, and the more time that it takes for the roots to grow means that they're stronger roots, which means what then now starts to come over the surface is going to have more fruition, is going to have more longevity. So allow it to take its time. Allow nature to take its course. Because as we understand harvest season, and now we're watching the leaves fall away and, preparing for winter, and then the spring comes, all of that is divine timing. We can't rush any of it. It happens the way that it's supposed to. As the leaves fall away, align with the leaves falling away. That's part of the energy of what needs to be let go. And that even when there's snow on the soil, there is nothing dead per se. Everything is dormant. It's just time to rest. And this is why with this aligning with the beaver moon, in just preparing for winter, preparing for warmth, preparing for cocooning in many ways, preparing for hibernation in many ways, so that we can really get more into alignment come time for spring season when things start to grow again. It's like, what is that going to look like for you? And then again, that's all of the what energy. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the how. That's the roots growing. It's happening. Make room for this 1111 gateway that we've got coming up on November 11th. Again, this is about change and transformation, major DNA and cellular upgrades that are going to be coming through for us. And this moon is preparing us for that. And then as a result, preparing us to ready, aim, fire from a completely new vantage point, an energetic essence when it comes time for November 23rd for this new moon in Sagittarius. So powerful, powerful energy. I'm going to leave it there. I do kind of speed through. I did definitely speed through this one. I did, like I said, wanted to get it a little bit shorter and just to get you all the information. And I know for myself, it's really hard for me to listen to a super long, message. And I do it anyway, because again, I'm aggregating the information in many ways for you all. I want to make sure what I'm comparing from what's online versus what I received, directly from my ancestors and from spirit and from the creator self. But this is, as condensed as I could possibly get it. If anybody wants anything further, just want to talk it through, whatever it is, hit me up. I got you. Very, very busy the next few days. 11/11 is going to be Virtual Vendors 1-year anniversary. So you may have seen some posts thus far. I'm going to start sharing a little bit more as well. So please do tune in live at 8 p.m. on Friday, the 11th, November 11th, 11/11 energy for this portal energy. It's going to be a very, very beautiful gathering, intimate gathering that I'm having. But again, we'll share it with you all online. So Sabrina Sahara Shares on IG is where I will be streaming live for that at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can get up under that moon at, 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish coming in the morning, November 8th, you should do that. If not, it's totally fine. If you want to do any elixirs, like I said, rose quartz, emerald, clear quartz, powerful elixirs to do for this lunar eclipse. And cleanse your space. Do your sage. If you've got blood sage your space, ideally today, tomorrow, again, through the week and stuff. And just get into the energy of release to increase. That's what this is all about. Release to increase. So that's all for now, beautiful people. I usually do an oracle observation for this moon energy, for moon energies. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to do that. It's also Twin Flame Tuesday tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to do that, as well as I'm, in the preparation mode for myself in terms of just aligning with this moon, as well as preparing for virtual vendors barter ball. So we'll see, but I at least wanted to get this to y'all. So here it is. And it's been requested. So I appreciate y'all. I got messages and calls and texts. Are you going to send us details and downloads for this moon? So I appreciate you all. My queens. Shout out to my queens. I love y'all. My butterflies. Shout out to my butterflies. And hit me up. Anything you need. Okay. Much love. Peace, peace, peace. And lest we forget, time to get back to natural. Peace.